Hello and welcome back to The Stage Door, presented by Camber Arts right here in Corner Brook on Rogers TV. We are getting through February now. We thought we had our way out of the winter snow, but it seems to have come back at the end of February. But it's been a really exciting time. Of course, the Corner Brook Winter Carnival is in full swing. So there is music happening all through the city. Check the Corner Brook Winter Carnival website or their pamphlet for information on all of those events. It's always such a wonderful time in the community. And this week I am here with Deah-Lee Robertson. Deah-Lee is no stranger to the Corner Brook Winter Carnival, having been the ambassador last year at the carnival. And we're going to talk a little bit about the upcoming show from Camber Arts, our community musical this year, directed by Edmund McLean. The Prom. But before all that, we'll talk about Deah-Lee. So anyone who knows music in Corner Brook certainly probably knows Deah-Lee Robertson by
Hopefully.
now. She's done quite a few events throughout the year and at various locations, whether at Majestic Lawn, along West Street in the summer season, and then the Rotary Arts Centre, Arts and Culture Centre, Corner Brook High, all kinds of different places. So welcome to the Stage Door, Deah-Lee.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thanks for taking the time. First, what we always like to start with on the Stage Door is, where did your passion for performing begin?
Oh my gosh. I remember I was 4 years old sitting in the car with my parents, and I just started singing, and they were like, "Do you want to do singing lessons?" And I was like, "Sure." So we went down to Gary Bennett Music, actually, and they told me that usually they don't take in people who are that young. That my mom was trying to convince them, being like, "Hey, like, just check and see, and if there's anything you can do, that'd be great." And anyways, I had a lesson, and it went really well, and I started singing at the age of 4, and I'm 18 now and still doing the same thing.
Yeah, and I mean, it's an important point, you know, again, like, parents are such an important part of the journey of any young artist, right? It is huge because they are the first fans, certainly. You know, you're singing in the back seat and it's like, she's actually good. Let's work on this. And then again, your mom advocating for you right away at the age of 4 to be like, give her a shot, actually.
Give her a chance, just one chance.
Which doesn't sound at all like your mother.
No, not at all. Doesn't sound like
You're
her.
certainly blessed with wonderful advocates in your home. And again, like me growing up across the bay, it was huge. You know, my parents were driving in every night.
Yep.
And staying in Corner Brook and then driving home. And we have students in this show and many shows that we do similar or even further drives. It's an amazing thing, and that really does come from home. So it's a good opportunity to say thank you, parents, for supporting your youth that are in the arts. And again, the other spot is that often comes up in this show is teachers. Teachers help inspire that. So what was that journey like once you started music and found things out and began that work and that journey?
It was very helpful, to say the least. Again, when you're so young, starting out, what you think could be a music career it can be pretty scary. But when I was 12, I reached out to the city and I got a couple gigs working with like doing some shows for the summer, which was very nice. And then I started Graham Academy at 12, I believe, something like that, around then.
Sounds right.
And I think that's when I realized that, like, oh, musical theater is like what I want to do right now. And I picked up guitar I was in grade 6, I think. And my guitar teacher was very nice. And I'm still playing guitar to this day, still singing, and
So what has it been like, you know, for you as an artist? You've done covered music, you've written original music, and you've continued to do dance and musical theater. So how would you say those different mediums impact each other?
So I feel like they all give me confidence in some way. Sometimes different ways, but I feel like when it comes to singing, I'm more so relaxed. And when I'm with my guitar, it's like, okay, I can do this, I'm in my own space. And I mean, same with dance and musical theater. It's like when I'm on the stage, it's just very peaceful. Like I feel very relaxed and at ease, and it's really nice.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I think that makes a lot of sense,
Yeah.
you know, and a guitar is sometimes a valuable little tiny little barrier that you get to have between the audience as you share, you know, especially with original music, you're sharing something that is often very personal, that you're taking the time to reach inward and put out to an audience and share that. So what would you say as just talking about you as a songwriter before we talk about a bit more of the other layers of performance, what inspires you to create a song? What makes you share something?
Usually if I'm writing a song, it's about a situation or someone or, but usually I write my songs as an escape. They're a way to just get thoughts out of my head and onto paper, and it's very helpful. It takes a lot of courage to share something like that. Even now, I think I get so nervous sharing original music, and sometimes I end up opting out of it because I'm just, original songs are personal, and they come from the heart, and people might not know that, people might not see what they're about, but it can still be nerve-wracking at sometimes.
Yeah, absolutely. And I know, you know, that was actually a journey that was supported in part by your time at Graham Academy as well, with Yvette Coleman. So what is it like to have that kind of mentorship in terms of when you were just starting, quite young, to learn this? What was that journey like to have folks like Yvette and Bridget Swift kind of guiding that journey as a young songwriter?
Yeah, it was very rewarding, almost very supportive. I wrote my first song when I was 12 with Yvette Coleman, and it made me kind of realize that, oh, I can do this, and I have people around me who understand this and can help me. And it's been very nice because I know that there's a bunch of people in the community that if I'm ever stuck, there's been times that I've called Yvette and I'm like, hey, I need a word that rhymes with this, help me. And she's like, girl, I got you. But yeah, and I think last year actually I wrote a song with Yvette, she helped me, and I ended up getting it recorded with 62 Broadway, which is pretty fun. It's a really cool experience, but yeah.
No, absolutely, and 62 Broadway is such a valuable resource for that type of activity now, for recording and having that space. And I mean, getting to work with artists like Lou and Nigel and Scott.
They're great.
It's a pretty easy setup to walk in and have so much expertise in that space around that and getting work out. And I think that's the really valuable thing. And you pointed out, I think, exactly it. Not only do artists tend to help each other and be there for each other, but I think that is something, knowing this show and that we're able to do something pretty well every week, it just reminds us that, wow, Corner Brook breeds that energy. This city, this space is so important for fostering that growth and giving that community.
Absolutely.
So, you know, as a songwriter, that's just one way that it did that. What would you say is the difference between, you know, like you said, sometimes you opt out of sharing that original material. And it's interesting because in the show, in the Prom, your character decides when she really needs to share something original with the world, the interweb, as she calls it. But what would you say is the biggest difference between sharing another artist's work and covering it and sharing something that you wrote yourself?
I feel like, for me at least, writing or sharing music that is an original or that I wrote myself, it can be nerve-wracking because obviously it's coming from such a personal place. It's coming from the heart, at least for me it is. And again, I write my songs about personal events, or like they're a way for me to escape, get my thoughts out. And it can seem scary sharing some personal thoughts with people, but I guess for singing covers and covering songs, you can have people singing with you. You can have, it just feels a little bit easier.
Yeah, you get to do some crowd work a bit more
Yeah.
with those. You're playing original, you can't do a sing-along.
Yeah.
They don't know it yet.
Nope.
Sometimes you can, but that's if you really take the time to teach it before
Yeah.
and your banter and see how it goes. Always a challenge. What would you say draws you to the type of music you cover? Obviously, sometimes it's what's requested by the audience.
Yes.
But the ones that you bring in, what draws you to them?
Ones that I bring in are usually ones that I know the crowd will like, that are upbeat and will keep the audience engaged. Hopefully they'll sing along. I try to bring in classic tunes so that the audience will sing with me, takes pressure off of me. But yeah, usually I try to bring in classics, some old music, just so that I can have some people singing with me. But if not, then I'll bring in some more music that's like something like Taylor Swift or Gracie Abrams, so that there's a younger crowd that can also sing along.
100%.
Yeah.
No, I think it's great, right? And it is community. These events are community. And I know on Monday at the Kinsman Variety Show, you had folks singing along with you, which is great.
It was very fun.
I'm sure some of our viewers were there and certainly enjoyed that. So, interpreting music happens in so many layers. Of course, a cover song is one thing. Musical theater is something else. I'm sure they do feed each other because, again, you are drawn to certain roles. You are drawn to things that you can add your interpretation of. The difference in musical theater is instead of a 3-minute moment that you're adding your interpretation, it's a 2-hour moment. You're the character the whole time. So what has that process been like through the years as you've grown as an actor? What are some of the takeaways from that before we talk about this role? That's certainly been one that has a lot to talk about.
So usually when performing covers, there's usually some lines or some words that you can relate to, and I find it's the same thing with characters. Obviously, in some way, shape, or form, you're going to find a way to relate to a character in any way, whether it's through a dance move they do or a line they say or like anything like that. You're going to find something to connect with that character. It's the same, you're going to find a line or something to connect with for a song, just so it makes it a little bit more personal.
Yeah, I think, and that's a great segue into talking about the prom.
Yeah.
So you play Emma in the prom. Of course, the prom is, I find it, especially having worked on it, it is a very special show. It tells a very unique story in a really unique way. I play Barry in the prom, who becomes kind of a mentor for Emma, even though his initial approach is a little misguided. The prom is about, it really centers on Emma, who is a teen in small town Indiana, who just wants to bring her girlfriend to the prom. That's it. Not to make a scene of it, not to take over the event, but just, as she says in the PTA meeting, reluctantly, I just want to go to prom like anyone else. And I think that's what makes this story really interesting is, yes, there is glitz and big sparkly moments. That is musical theater. That is what we think of when we see the logo of the show. It's how the show is often marketed. But behind all a girl and happens to be a lesbian. And I think that's what's unique about the story. In a big way, it really focuses in on this being teen issues that she wants to address. So, of course, this is something that you were very passionate about this role. When you auditioned, you were like, I want that.
I want this one.
So, what was it that drew you to this show and that role in particular?
I have never related to a character more. Obviously, being born and raised in such a small community and being a lesbian, it can be hard. It can be very nerve-wracking. I'm in my senior year of high school now, and obviously I want to bring my girlfriend to prom, but there's always that thought in the back of your head that's like, I might get judged, but at the end of the day, it's okay. But I feel like Emma is very passionate about the fact that she just wants to go to prom like any other kid. And in the end, she does get that. So voicing your opinion matters, and it works.
Yeah, no, exactly. And I think for, it tells the story with a lot of heart, but a lot of humor too.
Yes.
And that's what keeps us alive. Humor is so important. So after we have Emma's introduction, we meet 4 Broadway performers of varying levels of success.
Yes.
Some who are judged and blasted in the New York Times. Others who are struggling with getting work at all.
Yeah.
And they decide to make a difference without actually having to change who they are or their ego. They become celebrity activists, which of course is something that we see all the time, celebrities putting themselves forward in topics that they in fact do not care about or connect with at all. And they travel to Indiana against the person they're trying to help's wishes. It is not the way that she wanted to approach things from the start.
Not at all.
And yet it makes a difference, yet it does have an impact. It has an impact on the community. It has an impact on just recognizing, the big line is build a prom for everyone. That's the big song, and that is the truth. It is not about, it's about community.
Yeah.
And a community is a space where everyone is welcome regardless of who they love or what they believe. And I think that's what makes this show a special show, is it's about that. It's about everyone finding it. And like we mentioned earlier, we find out partway through the second act when Emma is, dealing with how she wants to do this after, we won't give away too much, but Act 1 ends pretty rough.
Pretty crazy.
It's a pretty sad end to that Act 1.
Come see the show, guys.
So come to the show. You may cry. You will laugh, I believe.
Yeah.
And we're going to really deck out the space too. The lobby's going to have a photo wall for the prom. It will be a space that you can really share in that, remembering your own prom and finding that joy back, because there is joy in those moments in life. And we want our lobby to represent that side of things too. We'd love to see some of your prom pictures for anyone in the audience. Share them, have fun. Let's make this a community event too. And I think that's what I like about it as well, is part of why it's relatable is many people have had a grad or a prom, like a sizable chunk of the world. And it is so spectacular to be able to let loose in some way as you head to a new chapter in your life.
It's crazy.
Speaking of new chapters in your
goodness.
life, you're in grade 12. So not only do you relate to the character by those layers, but you're graduating as well, and you're getting those moments and building those moments. You've released an original song. That's how Emma connects with people. So what has that been like to kind of recognize that through this process?
It's very bittersweet. I will say that. Obviously, I'm looking forward to graduating, but doing community musicals might be my favorite thing that I've ever done. You get to meet so many talented people, and I've become very close with the Broadway stars, we call them. But the fact that I'm leaving, and this is probably my last community musical, is also something to think about, because I'm going away, which is scary. I have to be an adult.
Of course.
I'm not an adult,
it's huge,
guys.
you change and you're relocating place, so you build a new community, but it's and Corner Brook is always home.
Absolutely.
You'll always be welcome back, guitar in hand, and do some songs. And if there's time to be on stage, there's time to be on stage. And I think it is one of the valuable things about community musicals is it is a one-time chance, not only to see the show, but to see that exact cast.
Yeah.
And they are sharing community. This show features students from grade 3 all the way up to community adults that are some professional performers, some people who just love community theater, some who have found that decades ago, others who have found it this year.
Yeah, we got a lot of first years.
It's an incredible thing in that way that we get, people who are brand new to this world stepping into it. And again, various life experiences. And I think that's the beautiful thing about it is this show has so much humor. There's a our ensemble gets to play the kind of bigoted views
Yeah.
of the PTA, but they also get to play the non-equity cast of Godspell
Yeah.
in the show and do song and dance and do the hokey things too. And they get to play parents, and they get to play, our teen ensemble is so involved in this show, which is our senior company of grade 9 to 12 students,
Yes.
all of whom bring so much character. So before we clue things up, a couple last questions. First, we have brought back Edmund McLean to direct this production, which is such a joy. Of course, Edmund worked with Graham Academy's namesake, Gary Graham, for many, many years with Stephenville Theatre Festival and Theatre Newfoundland Labrador. What has it been like for you as a young person to get to work with someone who's been part of the foundations of theatre in Western
Oh my
Newfoundland?
gosh, it's so lovely. Edmund is such a nice man. He's so funny. And I mean, I never had the chance to meet Gary Graham. So it's very nice working with him, knowing that he was so close with him. But yeah, he's such a nice man. He's so funny, and I just love him so much.
Absolutely. It's such a privilege to see him work with the next generation of people. I think it's so
Yeah.
important that, that's what we do at Camber Arts, is we want to carry that torch forward and get to say, hey, look, this is a legacy here. This is
Yep.
someone who you need to meet in your life in Western Newfoundland, as long as we have the ability to do so. So it's a massive privilege, and so great to hear things like that.
Yes.
And Edmund, directed the production of Oliver with Mark Smallwood as one of the orphans.
Yep.
Mark is now, of course, an adult in the community, very often in community theatre, and in this show as well. So you get to see that relationship too,
Yep.
of someone who was younger than you when they first worked with Edmund, and then, is back as an adult. So
Yeah.
many great stories to share and tell.
It's crazy to think about. There's gonna be so many tears shed closing night.
Oh, it's gonna be
rough.
a wild ride, yeah. And speaking of which, why should someone see this show? What's the takeaway for them, in your opinion?
Because I'm awesome and you guys should just come see it. I'm just kidding.
That is true, though.
It brings the community together, and the show tells a really big story. Personally, I think it's not talked about enough. But I think it's such a relevant story to
Yep.
today, and I think it needs to be seen, needs to be heard. It's really fun. There's a lot of choreography and a lot of glitter and glitz and all the things. Our costumes are awesome. But yeah,
Yeah.
you guys should definitely come check it out.
Yeah, our costume team of Gayleen, Ishmael, and George have been
Yes.
really wonderful, sewing and making and building all of these exciting looks.
Yep.
And I would encourage everyone in the audience, give it a chance. If you're on the fence,
Yeah.
give it a chance. It's a pretty special show, and like I said, there's humor, there's heart, there's everything you'd want in a night of theater.
Yeah. You will laugh. You will cry.
Yeah, there's
all the
youth,
things.
there's adults, it's going to be a special show, and it's
Yeah.
actually a Newfoundland Labrador premiere.
Yeah.
So that's always exciting that we get to premiere new works right here in the province. Of course, as we wrap up the episode, thanks for coming, Deah-Lee.
Of course, thank you
A
for
couple
having me.
of things that I would like to share as I take out my note. Our friends at the Arts and Culture Centre have lots coming up. Corner Brook's Got Talent as Carnival Clues Up, happening February 27th at 6 p.m. Tara Manuel has a great new piece of political puppet theatre for all the premiers I've ever loved. That's March 13th. That's actually kicking off a cross-province tour. The Prom, March 5th through 7th. There are 3 chances to see the show. We would love for you to see it. Don't wait till word of mouth happens after opening night. Buy the ticket in advance. It happens every time. It's like,
Yeah.
I'll wait to hear what people say.
Yeah.
And then we're
It's like
packed by
nobody's
closing.
there
We'd
first
love for
night
you to
and
book in
then-
advance.
Yeah.
And it is in yellow now on opening night, actually. So that
Yes.
means we're halfway there. So we'd love to see you there. Artistic Fraud is bringing a brand new musical theater piece, Man of the Year, to Corner Brook, March 27th and 28th. That is a brilliant musical. Get your tickets now. It's going to be really special to see. And our friends at the Off-Broadway Players have Exit Pursued by a Bear, which is their piece that they're taking to Labrador this year for the Drama Festival. That's happening at the Arts and Culture Centre on April 2nd. And that's not all. Our friends at the Rotary Arts Centre have a lot coming up too. There's the Midway to Mawiomi Songwriter Circle hosted by Paul Pike. That is a free event, and Paul is just an incredible songwriter, incredible musician. You don't want to miss that if you can go. That's February 28th. March 4th, Sherman Downey and Matthew Byrne with their Winter Island Tour. Again, two incredible musicians from this province. That's March 4th at the Rotary Arts Centre. March 7th, the Cash Crew makes their premiere performance. That's a Johnny Cash cover group from here in Corner Brook. And March 8th at 2 p.m., that's a matinee, another free event, Dancing Home, celebrating dance and culture and what makes this place this place. So there is so much to do. Again, the Prom's March 5th through 7th, 7:30 p.m. at the Corner Brook Arts and Culture Centre. Tickets are available. Don't hesitate to reach out. We'd love to see you there. And from Camber Arts, stay tuned. April, we have a week-long festival, the April Owl. And in May, we have the Next Tide, celebrating young musicians that are coming home from their studies. And then at the end of May and early June, we have some more musical theatre from Graham Academy. So there's so much coming up. We hope to see you at some of these events. If you'd like to get on board as a corporate sponsor, we'd love to have you. Just reach out to us at Camber Arts and be a part of making the magic happen. Hope to see you at the Prom, March 5th through 7th. Thanks for coming on to the show, Deah-Lee. And we will see you next week back here at the Stage Door.